Cabinet Minister, Uttar Pradesh, Sugar Factory and Sugarcane. Welcome to Diva Bharati University, sir. And I'm sure the heartthrob that all of you are looking for, and our proud alumni, Kartik Aryan. Thank you so much, Vandana madam.
As a family member and to cheer for his sister and to celebrate her achievement. And it's one of the things about our university that the university has produced some extraordinary personalities as alumni, and it's a great pleasure to welcome them back at our university. One of the experiences I had growing up as a child, having this absolutely visionary father, Dada as my father. And I think one of the most important quality that he kind of told us was about the fact that you need to be humble, you need to be grounded. I recollect the time when we were children, if we didn't behave properly, he would pull us up, right? He would reprimand us, and he was a very strict disciplinarian. So we had to make sure that we, at that point of time, we understood what he wanted. And that was something that is a quality that he has engraved in all of us right from childhood. So I think humility is something very important. Sometimes people look at humility as a sign of weakness. But to be humble, to be grounded, but yet be firm is a sign of great strength. And that's something that I will appeal to each and every student graduating from this institution to imbibe. The second thing, and that's a line that you see in so many of our college, when you saw this AV, you saw all the, that line which my father always speaks about, ego is death of life and death of ego is real life. It's such a profound statement because if you look at the disharmony that takes place, whether it's in families, whether it's in the outside world, whether it's in any form, you find that ego is the cause of most conflicts. Once you bury ego, I think a lot of things can be achieved there. So many times I meet adversaries, I meet people who are kind of competing with each other, who are at loggerheads with each other, but they simply can't come together. And then I'm reminded of this classic example, when some people came to me and they were just not getting along with each other because they had some serious differences with each other. And I kind of gave them the example of that very famous picture where the Israeli Prime Minister was sitting with Yasser Arafat, who was the PLO leader, and they were negotiating a peace talk. And I kind of mentioned to him that if these two individuals can sit together and work out a peace accord, then certainly your problems, your and my problems are not larger than that. And that's something that I want to tell all the students, that this is something that's very fundamental. My daughter spoke very eloquently on climate action. She spoke about what needs to be done. Honestly, this is the first time that I felt a little bit of pressure because, I don't want her to have the bragging rights when I go back home. And when she spoke about climate change and what impact it has on the earth, I think that's a very important and a serious problem. Climate pollution, air pollution, food pollution, and everything else. With the advent of social media, with the advent of mass mediums, it's very important that young people, when you get information to you, that information is positive, you're able to process the right from the wrong, you're able to kind of dissect what comes into your mind. And I think the way parents get mentor their children is something that plays such a vital part in ensuring that only creative thoughts kind of find place in your mind. And I honestly believe that when you look at the mind consists of two aspects, two facets, is the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. And the relation between the subconscious mind and the conscious mind is like the land and the farmer. The land does not tell you what you should sow in it. The farmer has to decide what he needs to sow in it. So if you plant weeds, the outcome of that crop will only be weeds. But if you plant good thoughts in your mind, then you are bound to get an absolutely creative result out of that whole process. So I think for young people, it's very important that you remain positive in the work that you do, and then you can certainly achieve your goals there. Another thought that I wanted to share with you is that it's very important that you develop a very, very strong sense of purpose. Sometimes, the end is extremely important. What is your focus? What is it that you really want to do? I recollect a great example where, one of the individuals who was working as a security guard in a facility built by NASA, And one of the people asked him that, what exactly do you do? So the security guard very proudly said that I'm working for the mission of putting a man on the moon. So that's the kind of sense of purpose that you should have. You can be a great doctor, you can be a great engineer, but I think it's very important that you've got to have this larger sense of purpose. It's what will help you to create great things. We live in extraordinary times. India has got a great future ahead under very visionary leadership. We are poised for greatness, and the world is in terms of our economic prowess, and I'm quite sure that with young, energized and creative minds like the ones sitting out here, we can contribute to that growth story. Before I kind of conclude my address to you, there's one thing that I would like to leave you all with, and that's about the whole thing about patience. I think many times I meet so many young people, students particularly, they reach out to me, they come to me, and in fact, and they're very talented students. They've got brilliant grades in their degrees, they've done extremely well in their academics, but somehow they seem sad, they seem dejected, and I kind of wonder. And then a lot of times the refrain is that we don't know what we are doing, we don't know what, what's going to be the outcome of all this education. So I think for children and for young people, just embarking on their careers is very important. And I can tell you this by all my experiences, and I'm sure the experiences of all the parents over here, all the brilliant academics that we have sitting on this dais over here, that it's been a long journey. Many times we tend to look at the summit of a mountain, but you have to realize that there's a mountain to climb before you reach that summit. And that's very important. So your parents, all the people over here, they've worked years, decades. My personal journey has been one of 4 decades before, we have reached the point where we are. So it's very important for young people that don't look for instant gratification. Real success doesn't come instantly. It requires a lot of hard work, a lot of determination. And if you do all that, surely success will come to you. Once again, my heartiest congratulations to all the students who've gathered here in such large numbers. I mean, it's quite incredible that, the graduating students keep increasing. And I'm sure that there'll be a day which will not be far off when, we'll need to fill up the entire stadium. And that day will not be far off, because I know when I've traveled to the United States and to other places, we've always seen convocations done in big stadiums. And I think we are still in our infancy in terms of what we need to do. And I think that day will certainly come. Finally, I also want to like to thank all the parents. I think on behalf of the management of the university, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every parent over here who's entrusted your precious jewels, your precious diamonds in our hands. I hope we've, thank you. I hope that, you have been satisfied with what we have delivered. If there have been any shortcomings on the part of the university or our faculty, I seek your understanding. We are in this constant endeavor to improve our facilities, to improve our standards as we go along. And I'm sure that the next time when you visit this campus, you'll see an even more progressive and an institution that each one of you all will be proud of. And thank you so much.
Crossing irreversible thresholds, leading to more extreme weather, collapsing ecosystems, and widespread displacement. Consider this. 2023 was the hottest year on record, with global temperatures 1.48 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial levels. The world is now experiencing 5 times more climate-related disasters than in the 1970s. And if higher education is about preparing for the future, then sustainability must be at its core. Because what good is a degree if the planet we live in is in crisis? That's why at D.Y. Patil University, sustainability is not an afterthought. It's a priority. Through the D.Y. Patil Climate Action Lab, we are taking action where it matters. DCAL is not just an initiative, it's a movement driven by students, faculty, and a shared commitment to making a tangible impact. We've organized large-scale tree plantations, introduced sustainable campus policies, and taken real steps towards reducing our environmental footprint. But what is the most exciting part? Our students are our sustainability ambassadors. They are the ones who are leading the change. We have organized a Flamingo Lake cleanup, helping restore vital ecosystems and ensuring that these birds continue to find sanctuary here. Our annual World Environment Day celebrations